I've been homeless since 2017. I have 5 kids. I'm struggling a lot. It'd be nice to have a place to live. This is what I'm trying to build. There's a pull-out bed that comes out right here. And I have the curtain where my kids use the bathroom back here, so nobody sees them. And I was a big drug addict. I was using needles, pipes. That's what I went to jail for also. But it's like, I don't know, I have a lot of dreams. We're all human beings just like you guys. But the only thing is, we don't have money and income the way you guys do. I'm a felon, a criminal. A lot of people out here are, and it's hard for us to get jobs. And the only way we look at it is, this is our home. This is our environment.
Now, Joe, your office is aware of this particular case, and she's refused help multiple times, right?
Yes, unfortunately, and that piece breaks my heart, Dr. Phil. When you see the kids in an RV knowing that the mom doesn't want help, breaks all of our hearts, and that should not be allowed.
Right. You got to come in?
Hi, yeah, that's a narrative that you often hear, that the homeless don't want help, and they certainly didn't want it in the old model of housing, which was a large building with cot after cot after cot, where they could get assaulted. They didn't have a safe place for their things, and a lot of homeless people have pets that they love so much, and those shelters didn't allow safety, didn't allow pets.
Yep.
So the new thinking is that didn't work, but we could build tiny homes.
Yes.
Are an idea.
We know what not to do, right.
And that gives a person their own space. One of the speakers in the video said he likes freedom. He doesn't want to be dictated to. So if we give them a home where they can keep their stuff safely, have their pet, I think a lot of people would like that.
Those innovative solutions,
Well,
absolutely.
Donald, with shelters themselves, they have to line up again every day.
Yes.
They get there and they get into the shelter, but then they leave. They have to come back and line up again every day. They might get in, they might not. So that's very temporary, correct?
Absolutely. And a shelter is not a home. A shelter is a temporary structure that was designed to protect people from the elements.
Yeah.
We know shelters don't work.
Yeah.
Well,
and Joe, what you're doing is these.
Tiny home village. That's, again, finding innovative solutions like tiny home, prefab homes to build on parcels that are quicker and cheaper to get souls off the streets and into shelter. But again, Dr. Phil, what happens when they say no? What happens knowing that?
Can I just address that for a moment? I started my work as an outreach worker, and it does take quite a bit of engagement over time, sometimes to get people in. And often it's not that they don't want to, sometimes it's their mental health, sometimes it's substance abuse, sometimes it's just their trust in the system. They have been beaten down so many times that they don't trust that that person across from them is actually going to give them what they say they're going to give. So they resist for a while. So these are barriers you have to get through. And you know, I've never, in my 28 years of doing this work, ever heard anybody say they didn't want an apartment. Now, I've heard people say they didn't want to get into shelters, but they're not the solution. Housing is the solution.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.